My name is Dan Luckett, and we've lived in this house in Yorktown for 39 years. In May of 2008, our old furnace, which was 20 years old, developed a leak in the casting and had to be replaced. I did some research to see what was available and came up with the System 2000 as the heating system most likely to give us significant energy savings. In the 39 years we've lived here, my wife and I have kept very good records of our heating oil consumption. And so I can say with very high confidence that we are saving about 26% over what we used before. In our case, that translates to about 300 gallons per year. I looked at a number of dealers who have the System 2000, and I selected Frank and Lindy Plumbing. I liked them when I met with them. They seemed very straightforward and truthful, so they were easy for me to deal with, and that's basically why I chose Frank and Lindy Plumbing. As I think you can see, they did a very professional looking job in installing the system. They were in and out in one day. Then they came back a few months later to do a tune-up after the system had settled in for that time. And then I had them come back after the system had been installed for a year to do the regularly scheduled cleaning and service, and they did that. And that's really been the only service experience that I've had. Whenever the technician has come, he's been very efficient and professional. He cleans up after himself. He answers my questions. I really have no complaints. Up until May of 2008, we had always gotten our fuel oil and our boiler service from the same supplier, from one of the major heating contractors in the area. However, now I'm quite happy to have those two things separated. The main thing that I want from my heating oil dealer is a good price and reliable delivery. The main thing I want from my service provider is reliable professional service that takes good care of my system and keeps it running in top form. By having my service separate from my fuel oil supplier, I'm free to purchase my fuel oil from for the lowest available price using Westchester's online survey of heating oil prices. I can be confident that I'm getting a very good price for the fuel oil, and yet I have the consistency of a service provider that I trust and who I know will do a good job. Our old system performed well as long as it worked. We had plenty of heat and we had plenty of hot water. The big difference with the new system, in addition to the fuel oil consumption, is that it is much, much quieter. Our boiler is located directly underneath our living room. And with the old system, when the boiler fired up, you heard a loud rumbling sound up in the living room. The System 2000 is extremely quiet. You don't even hear it from the living room. You know, I also drive a hybrid automobile, and I'm very happy with the car. I get very good gas mileage. But my System 2000 boiler saves a lot more fuel every year than the hybrid car will ever be able to save in a year.